Oh, wow, I didn't think about that. He can just Aura of Silence, or, yep, there it is. Aura of Silence on the True Conviction. Oh, awesome. KO's gonna settle the wreckage. Lovely. And we get absolutely annihilated by our opponents.
Today on Commander Replay, we check out this Lathiel the Bounteous Dawn deck and try to make our creatures huge while gaining tons of life. Next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, there's 2 great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below.
Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Lathiel the Bounteous Dawn today, and today's deck list comes to us from Patreon supporter Sean. Let's take a look at this opener. Oh, it's weird, but I think it's keepable, so... Oh, man, yeah. Okay, this is going to be a weird hand, but we're going to keep this. We have Myriad Landscape, and then we have Sol Ring, and so then on, like, turn 3, we should be able to crack the Myriad Landscape, get some actual colored mana. And hopefully we'll draw the other color of mana that we need. That could still be a little awkward, but this is an unusual hand. Seems kind of fun, so we'll try it. Doubling Season is not a land. Play the Myriad Landscape. Also, if we catch an untapped mana-producing land, we can do it all on this turn. I was looking at Diamond Valley in the deck, and I know why it's in here, but it is kind of rough in situations like this where it's a non-mana-producing land. And that's not the best. Now, with the green Urborg, this thing can become a mana-producing land, but still probably isn't going to help us much early in the game here unless someone drops down a Cradle or an Urborg. Conspiracy Theorist for opponent. There's that forest. All right. Play the forest. Play the Sol Ring. This is going to work out. I think I'm going to go for the white mana right here just because we have a single green, which, this could backfire, but get double white. And we have ramped. So one thing, and we should talk about this, because I've played against a lot of Sean's decks for a few years now, and so I've seen his deck building style a lot, and the one thing that always seems to come up is that he doesn't run enough ramp in his deck. So I actually made a couple changes before the game. I added there were 8 pieces of ramp in the deck. The Sol Ring, there are now 12. So I've added 4 pieces of ramp. I think I cut a land from one of them. There's a lot of lands in the deck, so it's a green deck. It finds lands. Easy enough to cut a land. Go to 35 with like 1 or 2 flip lands in here. There's at least 2, so you could probably even safely cut another land if you wanted to. But yeah, what I've noticed is that in like 98% of the games we've played, I always have significantly more mana than Sean does through the middle and later parts of the game. And what that does is it allows me to make more plays. It's not that they're necessarily better. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. But if I'm on 10 mana, I'm able to cast a Sun Titan and leave up a Teferi's Protection or something like that. Or play 3 or 4 small things that all turn into something meaningful, right? If you're stuck on 6 or 7 lands, well, that Sun Titan's basically tapping out for you. So that's been a common problem that I've noticed with a lot of his decks, just a little bit more ramp, and it's not even that many cards that he needs to change. This is literally 4 cards. I changed 4 cards in the deck. And look at us, we're off to a crazy start. Notably, Sol Ring was not in the deck. I added that one in, and right now it's doing wild stuff for us because we had a Myriad Landscape. So we've, triple ramped essentially? So ramp is super, super important. In today's day and age, you just can't afford to not ramp. And with only 8 pieces, it's very possible to miss your ramp. When you start getting to about 11 or 12 ramp cards in your deck, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna run into a ramp piece probably by turn 4 or 5, if not earlier than that. So just the statistics of having 11 to 13 pieces of ramp is really where you want to be, and that will really increase the performance of a lot of the decks that he plays, including this one. However, Lathiel is a very snowball-y type commander, and having a start like this is really bad news for our opponents. Lathiel gets out of hand really quickly, so I do get some amount of, maybe you want to hold back a little, but ramp isn't necessarily the place I'm going to hold back. I'll probably hold back in other places. That's how I like to build, and that's what's worked for me, time and time again over the years. Lots of ramp, and then, I'll tailor the top end of the deck to be as strong or as weak as I want it to be. Anyway, we caught another land off the top, which is super lucky, and that allows us to get this Archon of Coronation into play, a card that has vastly exceeded my expectations. When this card came out, I really just thought it was going to be bad Protector of the Crown, but the fact that it's flying is actually a pretty big deal. Ooh. Opponent uses a Thieving Skydiver to steal our Sol Ring. That is not ideal. Our ramp has gone away now, though we should be able to get to this Great Henge pretty soon. That's a Time Twister. It's fine. Kind of like the cards in our hand, but yeah, we could use some more stuff. Okay, Nissa's Pilgrimage will help us get caught back up on the ramp, which I do like. Ameria's good for the late game. True Conviction's always handy. Opponent's talking about this Plains, yeah. Anyway, let's take a read of our commander. It's Lathiel the Bounteous Dawn, 4 mana for a 2/2 with lifelink. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, distribute up to that many +1/+1 counters among any number of other target creatures. So you gain life, and then your other creatures get giant, is the name of this deck. And so another thing that I've talked about, and I think a thing that's like still under-evaluated, is having the biggest creature at the table is a powerful thing to do. And at some point you probably need to put trample on it or some sort of evasion, but your ability to control the battlefield when you have the biggest creature is a big part of the game. Like, it's not the only thing, right? There's combo decks and there's removal and interaction and all that, but like, if you just have the biggest creature hanging out on the board, people have to respect that, and they can't just attack freely. They probably have to leave up blockers. They have to hold up mana in case you attack in their direction. Just different things happen, so there is a lot of power in having the biggest creature on the battlefield, and Lathiel is a deck that is routinely going to have the biggest creature on the battlefield. They just get uncontrollably large. Anyway, with all of that, brings back to our turn. There's a War Report, a card Sean absolutely loves. You gain life equal to the number of creatures on the battlefield, plus the number of artifacts on the battlefield. Late in the game, that's a lot of life. I'm not a big fan of a card that only gains life. I prefer to get my life gain off of cards that also do other things, namely like Luxodon Warhammer and Shadow Spear, and especially in a deck like this, where big things and trample are really good. But this one does have the potential to gain you a lot of life, and there are just some times where you need to gain a lot of life. Like sometimes you take a lot of aggro early, maybe you have an Ancient Tomb in play and you're at like 15 on turn 5. And you're just like, wow, this thing's got out of control kind of quickly here, and being able to gain a lot of life can be very helpful. True Conviction, another good life gain plus something else type card. Anyway, with all of that, we should definitely get this Nissa's Pilgrimage going. I don't know that we're going to have a lot to do after that. Nissa's Pilgrimage, get some forests. Nissa's Pilgrimage is another one that I also added. You got a 2-color green deck, absolutely love Nissa's Pilgrimage. Basically, cultivate number 3. Put one of these into play, the other to the hand. Yeah, now's a good turn for the Ameria. Because we are still the Monarch, I'm not going to attack anywhere. I want to keep the Monarch, so we will have to discard the hand size, but we do have a lot of lands we can pitch. End step, draw trigger. It's another land. We'll discard the forest and try to keep the plains, start working toward Ameria. With that, let's take a look at what our opponents are playing. First up is Banana, who we haven't seen on the channel in a very long time. Banana and I are just on completely opposite schedules most days. This is being filmed early on Monday morning on the holidays, so actually able to sync up a game with Banana, which is nice. A longtime supporter of the channel. Anyway, he's playing Glenn the Voice of Calm, a 1/3 with Skulk. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to its power. So I think it lends itself to like blue-white Voltron and just drawing all the cards, and you know, that's definitely a thing. He has laid down a Thieving Skydiver, a card that I absolutely hate, but in some respects, I'm lucky that, like, I haven't seen tons and tons of these. Like, I know it's out there, and some people definitely play it, but I don't run into this card all the time, and thank God, because this card is kind of busted, honestly. It's a little too strong. If you do find yourself needing to counteract a Thieving Skydiver, running a Hellkite Tyrant in your deck is a good way to get your artifacts back. What's that card? Brand, I think, is like a very niche and very specific, I'm trying to counter someone stealing my stuff. Hellkite Tyrant's good for other stuff too, which is why I like it, but for a little while that was a piece of tech that I was running when Thieving Skydiver was new, and it was showing up a bit. Ooh, that's a Hushbringer. He's got some nastiness over there. There's an Enlightened Tutor from KO. Take a look at what KO's playing. He's playing Breya Ethereum Shaper. I'm not sure what brand of Breya this is. It's KO, so he's probably doing something a little unusual with it, because that's his style, but Breya is a commander that just does entirely too much. It gains you life, it kills creatures, and it does direct damage to players. Oh, and it makes creatures. Like, is there anything else in the game? Are there other effects in the game that matter? No, that, like, basically covers all the effects you need for the most part. Card draw is the one thing it doesn't have. Yeah, not a fan of Breya. You'll note that I've never played Breya on the channel, and I probably should, because as popular as it is, it would probably get a ton of views. Yeah, just not a fan. Not a fan of this commander. Mycosynth Wellspring, cool card. KO leaving up a bunch of mana. Sure, I'm not going to like that. Our final opponent, by the way, is Zach Ryan piloting Plargg, Dean of Chaos. And he did say he had like Feast and Famine, Aggravated Assault combo in here, so we'll need to be careful of that. We did lose our removal with that last hand. Preacher, there's one you don't see. You may choose not to untap Preacher during your untap step. For as long as it remains tapped, gain control of target creature of an opponent's choice they control. It's almost so good. Oh, God. Well, we're losing our Archon. That's not how I thought this game would go. And they're going to untap it. Yep, that's the old Marike trick. And then they're going to steal one of Banana's things. Ugh. Well, looks like we need a board wipe already. Don't love it. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's good when opponents only have one creature. I have looked at this for tap creature tribal a number of times, but there are quite a few steal opponents' creatures cards already. Oh, nice, we get our Archon back. They do steal the Thieving Skydiver, though. So this one doesn't stack the same way that Marike does. So we catch a huge break right there in that Preacher is not able to steal multiple things in the way that something like Marike can. There's a Blossoming Bog Beast. Let's play a Plains. We're on 7 mana. That is an awkward amount. I was hoping to go Commander Guardian Project, but I guess we just cast our Commander right here. We've still got the Monarch, so I'm just going to keep holding back. Kind of need Vigilance. Draw at the end step. Growing Rites of Itlamok is a nice card. We're a ways away from 4 creatures, though, but discard a Forest. Steel of the Godhead. Yeah, that's a fun card you don't see much anymore. This was a pretty cool cycle. I just wish the red-white one was a little better. Really? Fire breathing? We couldn't do something better than fire breathing. Opponent going to send the Glen Voice of Calm over to Zach Ryan. Yep. It's going to be 3 damage. He's going to draw 3 cards. And he's going to fire off an Enlightened Tutor first. That seems real good. Getting Swiftfoot Boots. Makes sense. There's Swiftfoot Boots. Opponent has a Sigarda's Aid in play, so that's going to get a free equip. Also, what they could have done is just hold that in their hand and then flash that in response to some sort of targeted removal spell. Sword of the Animus for opponent. Back to Chaos turn. He didn't do anything with his mana last turn. He could have got his commander in. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he had the colors for his commander last turn. Slow roll and a board wipe? No, now he's going to cast... Yeah, I don't know why he didn't cast Breya last turn. Maybe unless he was trying to hold up the mana to be able to use it? Yeah, I don't know. Ooh! Hushbringer stops Breya from ETBing. Yeah. Oh, that's probably why he didn't cast it. Yeah, okay. I see what's up. There's a Makokoro. We're all going to draw. Angel of Destiny is a real magic card. He leaves the Preacher tapped. Which is good, but he can untap it at instant speed and change his mind about things if he needs to. We need to get like a small creature we don't care about in play so we can feed it to the Preacher. Bog Beast and Angel of Destiny aren't those type cards. Neither is our Commander or really the Archon for that matter. All cards that we really want. Needs like some random 2-drop or something. A Farhaven Elf would be ideal. Plargg coming into play. It's got haste off of the 1,000-year elixir. He's going to draw a card, discard a card. He's got a Bag of Holding, so that'll put it into exile. He got this down early in the game. Exiles a Sword of the Animist. Conspiracy Theorist triggers. He lets that one go. Does it all, untaps Plargg and does it all again. Puts a Viashino Heretic under there, yeah. Nice card. Just wish it was a little bit less mana. If it was 2 and 2, it would probably see a lot more play than it does. At 3 and 2, it's kind of a lot of mana. If it was like maybe even 3 and 1 or 3 and tap, because even in Tap Creature Tribal, this thing is just a little slower and a little less impactful than you want it to be. Opponent's going to attack with the Conspiracy Theorist. Discards another card. Teferi's Protection's under there. Oh, God. Well, it's going to make it tough to interact with him. Going to have to fish that out at some point. They do have to pay 4 to use that ability. Luckily, they've stumbled on mana a little bit. They're on 4 lands right now. They do have a Nick, though, so eventually that'll make them some extra mana. They're not quite there yet. Discards another card. It's a Cleansing Nova. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff in there. Yoshimaru is a nice creature that we can sort of afford to feed to the thing if we need to. So I like that. That's a good pickup. Do we have enough to get 4 creatures in play to flip this thing over? Probably not, but we'll be on 8 mana. Tell me we're 1 short. We're 1 short. Alright. Play the Growing Rites of Itlamok. See what we can dig up. Heliod's a really good card. Prosperous Innkeeper. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. With Heliod, we'll be able to get 4 creatures. Because I don't think we've played a land yet. Yeah, let's try it. Oh, we've already got 4 mana. Yeah, get Heliod then. Love it. Any order. Play the Plains. Play Yoshimaru. Play Heliod. We don't have a flying blocker against this Hushbringer, which can steal the Monarch, which is kind of annoying. But I think we've sat back long enough. No, we don't have lifelink. Does it make sense to go anywhere? This has lifelink. Oh, yeah, I've got a plan. All right, so Send this into Banana and this into Zach Ryan. We gain some life. Heliod's going to trigger, so what is this? Getting Lathiel out of Breya range is not going to be the easiest. So I think I want to get Heliod out of Breya range. So I'm going to pump up the Heliod right here. I mean, I know it's already out of range, but, like, you know, I'd like to get it out of, like, double shot Breya range, because it's unlikely that they'll have enough artifacts to shoot it 3 times, so. Lathiel, Monarch, and Growing Rights are all going to trigger. Let's see. Who are we pumping up? Yeah, pump up the Heliod right here. Oh, we can move this around. We'll go 1-1 like that. That seems fine. Growing Rights has flipped. Nice. Heliod's a 7/7. If no one plays any removal, I feel really good about our next turn. Because what we can also do, we can play War Report right now and make our stuff giant. And then, like, after that much life, we can drop in the Angelic Destiny and probably the True Conviction. And if opponents don't have interaction, that's probably going to be all she wrote. So one of the things we talked about in the pregame discussion was that Lathiel is a very snowball-y type commander. Just it being in play plus like one other piece means that the creatures are just giant, and you're very easily going to be attacked for a lot of damage, like, you know, probably like 2-hit range type stuff. You know, creatures get up to like 15-20 power really quickly in this deck. Opponent's going to flash in a Dowsing Dagger. Yeah, it's a good one. See who they give the plants to. They give them the KO. It's got a free equip on it. I suppose we could have did that in the opposite order, I think, and got a counter on Yoshimaru at some point. Hopefully that doesn't come into play. Oh yeah, it's coming in our direction. 6 that can't be blocked. Lovely. Cannot be blocked. Sword of the Animus trigger. Can't block. They do steal the Monarch. We don't lose any life, but we'll need to get that Monarch token back. Oh, does that still register as 6 commander? It does. How does this thing read? Damage doesn't cause you to lose life. Yeah, that doesn't actually prevent the damage. It's frustrating. In some sense, I still like Protector of the Crown and Palisade Giant a little bit better, but the fact that this thing is flying does make it really easy to get the Monarch back. The flying does add a lot of value, just that, like, the protection effect is, like, generally a little less good than the others. Open the armory for opponent. Yeah, Blackblader Forge time. We need to get some haste on this Angel. Feast and Famine. Oh, God. Aura of Silence. This is indestructible. We have no legal targets for Aura of Silence, so. That does make it much harder to get our True Conviction and Guardian Project in, though. There's the Feast and Famine. Pre-equip. Yep. Glen Voltron. We could also save the War Report. What's better? War Report plus Bog Beast or War Report at the end step if no board wipe happens? Mikokoro. Plains. Bog Beast won't be able to attack this turn, so if we're needing speed on our side, War Report during Zach's turn is going to be the optimal play. Loyal Warhound. Yep. Yeah, he is just Containment Construct. Just so many cards under the bag of holding. Really looks like he's struggling with the lands, though. He's 3 lands behind the turn count. Surprising with the looting. He's been looting like crazy. There's another land, so 2 lands behind the turn count. Intrepid Hero. Oh, God, no. Not Intrepid Hero. Intrepid Hero. I always try to use this card, and it never ends up being any good, and it's incredible against our deck. Huh. Now what? He can only do it once this turn, which is good, I guess. But still, losing one big creature like our Archon or something like that is not ideal. Not ideal. All right, we're in the main phase. Are we going to do this War Report now? We can make Heliod giant, which is a thing. Heliod's thankfully indestructible, but has no evasion, which is a concern. We might be on the Angel of Destiny plan of, like, trying to get people with that. Yeah, as long as we don't pump up the Angel of Destiny, he can't shoot it, so I guess that's the thing. Yeah, let's play this War Report. Gain a whole bunch of life. We're at 40. We go to 65. Yeah, that's a lot of life gain. That's 25 life. Heliod counter on Lathiel. Oh, actually, this thing, what does this thing have? No, what's the other one that has ward? No ward on this guy, so. Lathiel, end step trigger. I guess we're putting it all on the Heliod. 25 counters on Heliod. Can this thing give itself lifelink? Another target creature. So that means we would have to drop in the True Conviction, which is unfortunate. Selfless Spirit. Ooh. It gives us a little bit of counterplay. That's actually a pretty good pickup. Play the Plains. Play the Selfless Spirit. Play True Conviction. God, that's so much mana. Well, we get the colorless part covered by that thing. That's nice. Then I guess we'll get the Celestial Unicorn in play. I guess the plan is just make so many targets that he can't kill them all. Heliod over to Zach Ryan. He's going to have to block with something. probably the Loyal Warhound. I'll send this into Banana. I'll send this one into Banana. I'll send this one into Zach Ryan. Uh-oh. Banana's got interaction. Oh, yeah, oh, wow, I didn't think about that. He can just Aura of Silence, or, yep, there it is. Aura of Silence on the True Conviction. Did not plan for that. Forgot completely about it. Whoops. Oh, awesome. KO's gonna settle the wreckage. Lovely. Lovely. Well, we're gonna get a lot of lands. So that's what he's been sitting on for a few turns. You settle the wreckage. I did up the basic count in the deck a little bit too, so this is actually gonna work out decently well. And we get absolutely annihilated by our opponents. I mean, that's gonna be kind of the MO with this deck. This deck does lend itself to being archenemy, just by virtue of what it does, so this is not unexpected. The second you run out of interaction, this deck just runs right over you, but yeah, that was pretty rough right there. You know what I blame? I blame this Makokoro and everyone drawing a lot of cards. Everyone still has like a mostly full hand, which just makes it a lot easier to interact. Many more chances for cards to blow up your stuff. What is cool is that we're on 9 planes now. Any strip mines? Do the old strip mine check. Not seeing any strip mines yet. We can sacrifice this thing every turn and get it back with Ameria, which is pretty cool. Where's this thing going? Please not at us. Over to KO. Love it. Disappointing. We have 0 creatures in our graveyard. We're not going to be able to get anything back with Ameria this turn. Unless we have to, like... Actually, no, opponent can't shoot our stuff right now because we're too small. Glenn and Feast and Famine. Yep, those are things. Ooh, makes him discard a Terror of the Peaks. That's a really strong card. Although, maybe less good? Yeah, much less good with the Hushbringer in play. Not a lot of removal this game yet, other than that Settle the Wreckage on us, and I guess the Aura of Silence also on us. Though, this thing is in a position, like, to probably start machine gunning stuff down. He's also got the Viashino Heretic, which, again, mana is his problem. Like, mana is so important. If he had more mana, he'd be able to crack the Bag of Holding, get all these cards into hand, and then play the Viashino Heretic, shoot the boots, and then shoot the commander with the Intrepid Hero. Thran Dynamo, yeah, Banana's got mana. A lot of mana. 12 cards in hand also. That's an issue. Really need some boots for this Angel, because we can just get like one really surgical strike into Banana and take him out that way. I don't even know if they're in the deck, though. Let's find out. There are no boots in this deck. Yeah, that seems like a mistake. I would get some boots. Definitely need some haste. Situations like this. Savine's Reclamation, bringing back Aura of Silence. Don't love it. Monarch Trigger. I've been thinking that I should run Settle the Wreckage more. I haven't even been running Comeuppance that much lately. At least one of the two. I tend to like Comeuppance a little better just because you're not giving them lands, but Settle the Wreckage gets around a lot of things. Sphinx Summoner. Enters battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Interesting. Haven't seen that one. That doesn't show up very much in Commander. You'd think being an artifact tutor on a stick. I guess it's pretty narrow, so artifact creature is... There's only so many good ones of those. There's a small handful. What did he get? Oh, right, it does an ETB because of... So KO is just getting decimated by this Hushbringer. I have to imagine that if he untaps, he probably sacrifices some artifacts to get rid of it, because that just is messing up his deck. There's a chance that KO could pay the price for that Settle the Wreckage not being a comeuppance, though. We have card draw, and so I would say that Settle the Wreckage is both good and bad against green decks. It's good in that it deals with all of the creatures. The bad part is green has so much card draw. You're giving it even more mana production on top of the fact that like green decks are usually ahead on mana production anyway. So the fact that there's so much card draw means you're able to keep spending all that mana into more stuff. What'll be interesting to see is if Banana recognizes that and how long we can keep this Guardian project in play, like how many creatures we actually cast before it goes down. The big brain play, and I've talked about this a little bit, Banana watches a lot of the content, so we might figure it out, is when we play this to shoot it with our first creature on the stack, because, like I said, Settle the Wreckage plus repeatable card draw is how you lose a game. I've had it happen enough times that, like I said, I generally prefer comeuppance because you're not feeding them lands. And even if you don't kill everything, like notoriously Avenger of Zendikar tokens survive comeuppance, which has always been a problem, but you survive, and then if anyone else does, you find a way to wipe the board, or just, you know, in my case, usually Aurelia them to death with swords and stuff like that. Does it work out every single time? No, but for the most part, there is a lot of incentive to be able to answer someone with a giant board state like that. Grasp of Fate. Yeah, this seems like it'll probably be good. I assume he goes for the unicorn just because we can sacrifice this. Oh, wait, is this one of those we don't get to know? He's going to go for the Selfless Spirit. Yeah, we're just going to sacrifice the Selfless Spirit. And that means we should be able to get some value from this area. Love it. Sacrifice Selfless Spirit. He's going for the boots as expected and a plant token. So mostly to get rid of the boots. And now this thing is fair game into the... Where'd it go? Intrepid Hero. Gets another land into play. So he's got an untap with the Intrepid Hero. Sends over the Thieving Skydiver. Yep, going to steal the Monarch. And the Loyal Warhound. Oh, you know what's crazy? He could Aura of Silence the Grasp of Fate. And then because Sigarda's Aid's in play, he would get a free equip off of the Swiftfoot boots. If he sees that, that is a recipe for our Guardian Project surviving. It's also a really cool play. As much as I want to see this Glen go down because we're probably going to die to it, that'd be a really cool play to see. So we'll see what happens. Brings it back to our turn. Emeria on Selfless Spirit. Selfless Spirit is back. Farewell. We have, if we sacrifice the Selfless Spirit, we'll have only one creature in play. Huh. I mean, I think that's the play. If he, does he have counter magic? If he has counter magic, or it's a Fairy's Protection, would also be backbreaking. I think we got to make him have it. So we're going to sacrifice the Selfless Spirit. Actually, we'll tap this thing for mana first. Then sacrifice the Selfless Spirit. Might actually leave graveyards intact. Yeah, opponent's graveyards aren't that full, and we can keep getting back the Selfless Spirit, which is something. Make opponent have it. Artifacts, creatures, enchantments. Cast. Is going to destroy it. Actually, that's not a good idea. Because Grasp of Fate's going to get blown up here, and then he's going to get the boots back, and then the boots will get exiled, where they would have just come back to play on his side if he just let that go. Unless he's got something else he's planning to do. Boots on the Hushbringer. The nuclear option. Float some mana. Zach is gonna shoot the Glen just to force a response of some kind, which is probably good. He has 12 cards in hand and a bunch of mana open, so it just goes down. Cool. Gonna untap the Plargg. Yeah, might as well get some looting done before all this goes away. And the board gets wiped. God, that card is brutal. Man, I thought for sure that thing was getting countered. It just didn't seem like there was any way that wasn't going to get countered with all that blue mana up, but I guess he's not playing that many counters. Play the Forest, play the Guardian Project, cast Angel of Destiny. Guardian Project, we draw. It's a land. Pass like that. Angel of Destiny end step trigger, but we have not attacked anyone. I said to Banana, I thought for sure that was going to get countered, and he said me too. I'm like, yeah, you're the one with the blue mana, man. Savine's Reclamation. Getting back Stoneforge Mystic, that's a decent play. They can copy it, not the Aura of Silence. Oh, please, not the Aura of... It's going to be the Aura of Silence. Yeah, copying it. Getting back the Aura of Silence. Guardian Project is probably not long for this world. Gets a War and Peace. And a Dragonlord Ojutai. I'll be honest, I haven't played Angel of Destiny as much as I would have liked in the, roughly 2 years it's been out. I've seen it a handful of times. It's tricky. It does require, certain things. For a Voltron deck, it's decent because... it doesn't stop the commander damage. But if you're trying to go wide, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for going wide. It does make it a little bit awkward. It can be okay in something like Aurelia, where you can attack twice, but you still want to make sure you're built around it a little bit, and that's why I haven't really focused on it. At some point, I did want to build an Aurelia life gain deck. There's probably better commanders for that, honestly, but it'd still be fun. Ranger Captain of Eos gets a Mother of Ruins. Importantly, he's tapped out his mana. Breya back to play. This time it'll actually get an ETB. Field of the Dead. Disgusting. Thran Dynamo. Into the Aura of Silence. Rough. Paid 6 mana for that. Plargg back to play. No crazy plays from our opponents right there. Banana made a number of, medium-sized plays, which is still decent, but nothing really crazy hitting the board. Everyone trying to set up again. Brings back to our turn. There's a Maria trigger on Selfless Spirit. See if the thing survives. There's a Guardian Project trigger. Boy, do we need that. Finale of Devastation is a magic card. What do we get with the Finale of Devastation? That thing's wild in this deck. I don't actually know that we have that much life gain in this moment. That's also a wild card. Finale of Devastation's off the table. Opponent's going to crack their Ranger Captain of Eos. Yep. Yeah, another creature. Creatures are helpful. Play the land. Play... What's this thing do? As long as you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on a creature this turn, it has Trample and Lifelink. Seems legit. Pay 3. Target creature you control with a +1/+1 counter gains Trample and Lifelink until end of turn. Love it. All seems good. Play the Bog Beast. Oh crap, I think I used all of our green mana. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. That's a Sun Titan. We're going to hold off on that Sun Titan a turn just in case another board wipe shows up. Let's tap this thing for mana. See if we can get both of our Commander and that's the Guardian thing. Lathiel. Guardian Project. Sajiri Shelter is a nice pickup. And get this thing. And a Beast Within that we won't be able to cast this turn, but next turn could be helpful. Go to combat. Banana is far and away ahead of our other opponents, so I think we got to go after Banana right here. Opponent says that Paladin is cool. Yeah, I haven't really seen it. He says, naturally, who played it? It has a flaming sword. Indeed it does. I've got a brand. Still love the art on the original Neheb so much. So cool. Do we need to do damage or just say attacked? Attacked. Okay, cool. Pass turn. End step trigger. Banana goes down to the Angel of Destiny trigger. Haven't gotten many people with it. D-Manny's gotten me with it a couple times. He does run this in his Samut deck, but yeah, I have not triggered this thing very much. I think there was one game. I think I had an Angel of Destiny game somewhere where I got a bunch of people with it, but Banana said, oh, I forgot it doesn't need to hit. Sculpting Steel. Are there any artifacts? Copy of Breya. Copy of Breya. Get 2 more Thopters. Sun Titan. Getting Grasp of Fate. We can Sajiri Shelter. Such a good card. Grasp of Fate, probably the Angel? Yeah, Angel and Breya. Sajiri Shelter. So a lot of this is brought to you by the Guardian Project, because we picked up, 3 or 4 extra cards that really making a big difference. Oh, is he going to double shoot the Angel? Yes. Yes, he is. That's okay, though, because it'll die, and we can just get it back with Emeria. Well, it'll take us an extra turn to do all this stuff, but it's not nearly as bad as getting it exiled, even though we could shoot it with the Beast Within, but this does allow us to hold the Beast Within. And also, we're not going to have anything under the Grasp of Fate, so they can kind of just stay there. Down goes the Angel. Grasp of Fate will fizzle on our stuff, but hit KO's Breya. I was thinking about whether I would need to sacrifice this at the end step just to get a card draw, but since we're going to get this back, won't need to do that. Let's check on this finale again, see if there's anything that can kind of get us over the finish line quickly. Prized Unicorn's actually pretty funny, although our stuff isn't pumped up yet. Archangel of Thune is still a contender. This thing is, again, this thing is insane. We do need to find some life gain, though. We don't actually have that much life gain happening. Zombie with a Feast and Famine over to KO. Uh-oh. Hope he doesn't have Aggravated Assault. We have 1 or 2 blockers. We have 1 blocker in the event of an Aggravated Assault. I don't think he has the colors for Aggravated Assault. It's a Zerda. Okay, that's fine. You want to see really good with Zerda? Nykthos. War Room. Draws a card at the end step. Emeria getting back the Angel. Definitely going to leave this Beast Within up. Guardian Project trigger. Angel is back. Skyclave Relic and Castle Garenbrig. Play the Castle Garenbrig. What are we doing? Yeah, we should probably try to make the finale play this turn. Doesn't give him haste, does it? If X is 10 or more, creatures you control get +X and gain haste. It does give them haste, so we want to pump 10 into this thing, is what we want to do. And that'll get us 1 kill with the Angel, and probably be able to take down the other regular damage. Oh, actually, no, we can't kill with regular damage because of the Angel. That being the case, yeah, it's cast the finale. We'll be on so much life, it'll be silly. X11. Again, this is that mana. We got, 4 or 5 extra lands, and we've been able to use them. Settle the Wreckage is a give and a take. So the key to Settle the Wreckage is that after you cast it, you want to be able to eliminate that player fairly quickly. There's an ETB, there's a Voice of the Blessed. Let's get this thing, because this thing's really wild. Oh my god, everything is huge. Draw a card. Heroic Intervention is a very strong magic card. Go to combat. Zach makes 6 mana with the Nykthos. What does he have? Makes 3 mana. Oh, activates Plargg. Okay, that's fine. Humble Defector. Probably not exactly what he was looking for. We're going to send the Angel after KO and the others after Zach. Zach will probably survive. My rationale here is that I've seen Breya a lot of times. Plargg is just a more interesting deck to me, and if anyone's going to beat us, I'd rather see it's the Plargg. So KO is going to scoop it right there, sees what's coming. The Bog Beast triggers. We gain 2 life. The Bog Beast pumps everything up, and then the Paragon pumps everything up, and everything is giant. Actually, you know what we could do? We could Beast Within our own creature to end the game right here, but we're going to give him 1 turn. I'm kind of curious to see where this goes. We've got protection, we've got removal, we've got the ability to recover a little bit, we've got some more ramp. We'll just see where this goes. He blocks. quadruple blocks, what, our commander? Oh, he still died. Why did he still die? Oh, right. So the angel is a trigger. So if you do more than what they have life, then they just die. Okay. So didn't have to get too cute with it right there. Yeah, Lathiel is a strong commander. It, like I said, it just lends itself to having the biggest stuff on board all the time. This is not unusual for this deck. I will say that opponents did a really good job holding us down around like turn 6, turn 7, with all the interaction that they played, and that, if they were going to take us down, that was the opportunity to do it. There was definitely a window where we didn't have that much going and we had to rebuild, and that was going to be their chance to get into it, but we were able to rebuild just a little bit better than everyone else, and like I said, I think it's those couple extra lands paired with the Guardian Project. We were just able to refill so quickly. As far as this deck, like I said, I think what Sean needs to do is cut 4 cards from the deck, probably 2 lands and two of anything else, add 4 pieces of ramp, and look how smooth our mana production was this game even before the Settle the Wreckage. That'll really smooth out this deck and get it going to a place it wants to be. It felt like the removal count may have been a little low. I don't know if we were just not drawing the removal portion of our deck. I haven't done a count. Yeah, the removal count is also a little bit low. I'm counting about 7 pieces. I get what he's going for. He wants to be the threat. When you're building a deck that wants to be the threat, it's okay to skimp on the removal a little bit. I wouldn't skimp on the ramp, though, because the ramp is what will make you the threat and allow you to keep being the threat, paired with the card draw and the threats. So if you need a skimp on one of the categories for this deck, I would skimp on the removal and not skimp on the ramp. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have 2 new Patreon supporters in Lauren Hall and 13 Big Dogs. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, or if you want to get some good games of Spell Table, be sure to check out my Patreon, the link below.